Hello, my name is Anthony Pinter, and along with my collaborators at the University of Colorado Boulder, I'm excited to share a brief overview of our paper with you entitled Entering Doors, Evading Traps, Benefits and Risks of Visibility During Transgender Coming Outs. To start, LGBTQ individuals are often geographically separate, residing in places that are not necessarily welcoming to their identity. For example, a trans teen living in rural Colorado might not have anyone with which to confide to. Because of this, the teen might instead turn to online spaces to find information and community that is otherwise lacking in their offline spaces. While this is often a good thing, identity and beliefs can change just as quickly as they do offline. While research often positions online spaces as places to be authentic without fear, what happens when someone finds themselves visibly out in a place that is no longer welcoming to them? This is the exact problem that we addressed with our work. We conducted semi-structured interviews with 15 participants. All of our participants identified as being trans and/or non-binary. Participant ages ranged from 18 to 40, and they identified Facebook as the social media site that they used most often, with Twitter and Tumblr being the second most popular. Interviews ranged in length from 30 to 120 minutes and were open-ended to allow for elaboration and follow-up questions. We then transcribed and anonymized the interviews and conducted an inductive thematic analysis. More details can be found in our paper, but our analysis ultimately yielded 4 findings. Participants told us about the ways they use platforms in support of their goals around finding information and support, decisions they made about who and where to come out to, their experiences with visibility that resulted from those disclosures, and the steps they took to proactively manage their audiences to protect themselves from negative experiences. We go into depth on each of these findings in the paper itself. In doing our analysis, we turned to the theory of doors, traps, and trapdoors as a way to understand visibility and the consequences of that visibility. This critical lens was originally described by Gossett, Stanley, and Burton to illustrate the issues associated with transgender people becoming more visible at a societal level. Doors are cultural moments during which transgender people can access visibility and the resources, recognition, and understanding that comes with that visibility. However, doors are simultaneously traps for some, accommodating trans bodies, histories, and culture, only insofar as they can be forced to hew to hegemonic modalities. For Gossett, Stanley, and Burton, the visibility that results from these cultural moments benefits some at the expense of others. They grapple with this problem and offer trapdoors as the means through which escape is possible. Trapdoors are those clever contraptions that are not entrances or exits, but secret passageways that take you someplace else, someplace yet unknown. Now, of course, Gossett, Stanley, and Burton are concerned with the production of the visual, of culture. Yet in hearing our participants' experiences, we saw how doors, traps, and trapdoors can manifest at the individual level in our social media systems. Doors manifest as people come out in spaces old and new. As one passes through a door, they become visible to the audience within that space. For example, participant 10 told us about coming out on Facebook, where they passed through a door and became visible to the audience in that space. Traps manifest when spaces are not as welcoming to one's identity as previously hoped for, or when a space's expectations change and no longer align with one's identity. For example, participant 12 told us they didn't use Reddit anymore because it was not welcoming to them. And when one is stuck in a trap, they can look for trapdoors to places yet unknown. For example, participant 3's Finsta allowed them to post more authentically to a specific group of people. From our analysis of participants' experiences through this lens, we offer a few practical implications for design. Designers should think critically about what could become a trap in their system, either explicitly through uninclusive platform design or implicitly through user adaptation. Additionally, they might playfully turn to the structural metaphor to think about what other structures can inspire design. For example, what if a door is locked or has a window through which to see the space beyond before entering? However, the true key to this conceptual lens is that it highlights an issue in HCI. Our field is heavily focused on finding problems and proposing solutions to those problems. The conceptual lens here lets us see it's impossible to design a door that will not inevitably trap someone, and that all trap doors are actually doors that can trap themselves. Thus, we present this work as a challenge to designers to not strive for an end-all solution, but instead to strive towards the impossible, invoking Basicus, Lee, and Spade, who said impossibility may very well be our only possibility. We challenge designers to strive for the impossible, consider the trap of visibility, and incrementally improve their designs with the hope of limiting traps, or at the very least, giving people the chance to find a trap door. We thank our collaborators, our reviewers, our colleagues, and most importantly, our participants. And we'd be happy to answer questions, but at the conference at the emails listed here. Thank you.